What it is, focus your homeboy Ferg back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. I'm solo dolo for the promo at the moment, but you will see my brother Tim G. Jacob shortly. You understand? But before we get into it, I got to tell you this is sponsored by Statement Tees. That Statement Tees, every t-shirt you wear makes a statement. Go on over there to statementteesllc.com and copy some, or go to Facebook, follow us, and hit us up with some custom that you might like. Y'all got to go ahead and get this, put it on some shirt. You feel me? Go ahead and go on over to statementteesllc.com. Go to the first letter collection. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead and copy one of those. So you can go ahead and make that statement. Show people that you are repping for the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. And that is us. Put it on some. Let's get to some of this real shit right now. My colleague, a real one, Coach Simmons, tagged me on Twitter in a challenge. The challenge was to take the picture that you see right now on your screen and develop an HBCU related video based on the picture. And as you can see, the picture is of probably my number one guy, my number one hero, Muhammad Ali. This is one of the most famous magazine covers in all of history. Muhammad Ali was that pig, America. Okay, for my youngins out there, this motherfucker here had more things written about him than any other human when he was at his height, 60s and 70s. He was the guy. But here's the thing. When Coach tagged me in the picture and told me about the challenge, I already knew what I wanted to say within seconds of seeing the picture. Because immediately I thought about the parallels between Muhammad Ali and Coach Prime Deion Sanders. As I've said before, sports is known for all these guys that do amazing things, and women, guys and girls who do amazing things with their bodies. Muhammad Ali and Deion Sanders, definitely two of the most special athletes ever. Muhammad Ali was 6'3", anywhere between 210 and 230 pounds, depending on what fight it is and depending on whether he trained hard. And could bounce around the ring for 45 minutes, 3-minute round, 15 rounds for a title fight back then. Bounce around. You tried doing that for 2 rounds. See how you feel. Fastest hands in heavyweight history. Was bigger than most of his opponents, but faster than all of them. Special. Y'all know about Prime. Run a 4.2 for breakfast. Run a 4.2 in Timberlands, they tell me. That's what the streets say. I don't know, okay? Greatest cornerback ever. One of the greatest football players, period, ever. Special athletes. But these jokers also special characters. Very colorful, very entertaining. And see, y'all know the Muhammad Ali story in which Ali was persecuted for his stance on the Vietnam War and not wanting to be drafted. You know, that's what really led to this magazine cover. But what you might not know is that before Muhammad Ali won the championship, before Muhammad Ali became Cassius X and then Muhammad Ali, after Elijah Muhammad gave him that name, before he openly professed to being a black Muslim, Muhammad Ali was beloved. 1960 Olympic Games, he was the talk of Olympic Village. Going over there whooping folks for the United States of America. He was known as the Louisville Lip. Folks were wildly entertained by him, man. White America. Wildly entertained by him. He was backed by a group of white businessmen from Louisville, Kentucky, his hometown. They were known as the Louisville Sponsoring Group. But once he whooped up on Sonny Liston. After that, he came out as Cassius X and said, I'm a black Muslim. Started demanding just, hell, right after the fight, still in the ring, he told them folks, I know God, I know the real God, and I want justice. Once he started to buck in their eyes, once they were able to see that, oh shit, we might have some on our hands here. Because yeah, Dr. Martin Luther King is influential, but he ain't the heavyweight champion of the world. Yes, Malcolm X scares the shit out of us, but he ain't the heavyweight champion of the world. See, to be the heavyweight champion of the world back then was to be the most famous person on the planet, or one of, at least. For Ali, it was to be the most famous. But no matter who the champ was, that person was going to be known. It was like the sign of manhood to be the heavyweight champion of the world. The world wasn't like y'all thinking of it today, like where you got LeBron and the big time soccer players and Steph is so known. It wasn't like that back then. Ali way more famous than Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, all them boys. More famous than the baseball player. So to have somebody that well known, who you little boys wanted to be like, and to have him going around saying, I'm pretty, when the world trying to say you're ugly, in terms of saying that black people are ugly. I'm pretty. When the world was still trying to, you got this struggle, it literally struggling in the streets with white supremacy versus black liberation in the streets. Now you got this shining example of black liberation walking around. That scared the shit out of motherfuckers. So he wasn't so lovable no more. So what they do? Even though he had failed the draft test previously, because as he would once say, he told you that he's the greatest, not the smartest. But from my studies, Ali had dyslexia. So he didn't pass the draft test, but they rearranged some shit on his ass because they wanted to make an example out of him. We got to get this one. We got to shut him up. We got to humble him. And he said, I ain't going. I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. Them Viet Cong ain't never called me nigga. If I'm going to die right here fighting you. You my enemy when I want freedom. You my enemy when I want justice. You my enemy when I want equality. Woo, boy. When you start to buck, all that lovable shit go away. Ooh, the Louisville Lip. I like him. Oh, he's at some. That shit go away. He was still beating folks' ass now. Don't matter. He getting booed all of a sudden. So immediately when Coach tagged me in this, it made me think of Coach Prime. Because Coach Prime is wildly entertaining throughout his career, both from his on-field brilliance and exploits to his off the field interviews and press conferences, NFL Network. The man has a gift for gab, and who, at least for me, I've only seen Muhammad Ali be better as an athlete with the gift of gab than Deion Sanders. America has loved Prime. But oh, now, is Prime standing up against the U.S. government sending aid to Ukraine right now? Is Coach Prime coming out and weighing in on the Supreme Court decision, or is he out here beating the table, demanding passage of the George Floyd bill? No, he's not doing none of that. But he is shaking up the order, the so-called order of things. The so-called order of things is that Travis Hunter was supposed to go to a big-time PWI. He's supposed to go to Florida State. He's supposed to go to an Alabama. He's supposed to go to a Clemson. He's supposed to go to a Georgia. That's the order of things in Nick Saban's book. Y'all heard him. Jack State bought a player. I read it in the paper. That's what he was alluding to. Ain't no other way Jack State gonna be able to give him his eyes than doing some funny business. He thinks the order of things has been shaken up. Jack State now is on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Some looking at that and say, I don't know about that. Messing up the order of things. We've seen this before. We've seen this countless times in America, people. We saw it. We just celebrated Juneteenth, right? So we saw 1865 slavery is finally ended with the 13th Amendment. That truly ended slavery, not the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay. What happens right after that? Reconstruction period, where you're trying to put this country together. Okay. Literally and figuratively. Okay. You got troops in the South stationed and really making white Southerners follow the rules and follow the newly passed 14th Amendment, which guarantees citizenship to the newly freed people, and follow the 15th Amendment, which guaranteed the right to vote to newly freed black men. So you got these troops down here making them do right. But come 1877, when them troops leave, all hell break loose. It's a white backlash. And then you got the Supreme Court case, Plessy versus Ferguson, which basically says it's okay to have separate everything as long as it's equal. But we know in truth this shit wasn't equal. So you have this white backlash to the black liberation. Every time you see black folk take a step, you see the white black backlash. You see the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s. What happens immediately after that? Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon. You see the first black president, Barack Obama. What happens immediately after that? Donald John Trump. A white nationalist president, white supremacist president, which we've had in this country's history. But in modern times, for him to be damn near open with it. See the white backlash. So we saw it from Ali when he looked like he bucked. He represented black progress. He represented a black man that you couldn't control. He represented a black man who was great at what he did in sports and demanded justice. And then they came for him. And I'm telling y'all, Prime represents a black man, great at what he did on the field. Now proven to be great at what he's doing as a coach. But see, he just supposed to get the scraps. He's supposed to get the 2-star boy, the 3-star boys at best. You're supposed to get a boy who was a knucklehead at one of the big schools and they had to get rid of him. And now you come and try to pump some life back into. You're supposed to get them boys. You ain't supposed to get Travis Hunter and Kevin Coleman. You ain't supposed to get cover of Sports Illustrated. You ain't supposed to be demanding that the NFL teams come to your CEO camp. You ain't supposed to be doing that. How dare you? Coach should be prepared. And we as the community should be prepared to rally around coach and rally around the university or any other university if these motherfuckers try to come for anybody on some fuck shit. Now, I'm not saying turn a blind eye if they doing anything wrong. But I just showed y'all example after example of where you have black progress or you see somebody who isn't a symbol of black progress, and then folks try to come for them in various ways. So, coach, be prepared. Be prepared. But I'm hoping that coach will have the energy and the spirit that Ali had in another variation of this cover that folks haven't seen as much. You see it now on the screen, where you see instead of being hit by the arrows, Ali catching one of the motherfuckers. And you see the look of defiance on his face. That's some gangster shit. And I love it. So I hope coach got that spirit in him. I know that's the shit I got in me. Hopefully that y'all got that in y'all as well. But for more on this, I want to bring through the aforementioned honorable one, Tim G. Jacob.
Yeah,
brother, what it is, man.
What's happening? So I'm sitting in the background, I'm listening to what you're saying and everything, and all of it's 100% true. But I'm gonna take it a step further when it comes to the same but different situation when it comes to Muhammad Ali, and you're talking prime and just what prime needs to be prepared for. You were talking about him shaking up the so-called status quo when it comes to getting players that he shouldn't get. But I'm gonna take it a step further, man. I think they'll come for him as a father.
Oh shit.
Like they don't like the fact that all of his kids are around him.
Mm-hmm.
I just seen the last week, I'll just say last week, where his daughter that's going to Jackson State been riding around with him, and they on social media posting things, and and she talking, she's present. And then I think it's his oldest daughter, DeAndrea, I think is her name. But the oldest girl, she was with him and they riding around and stuff, and and basically he got his two daughters with him.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would say those are the loves of his life.
Mm-hmm.
On top of his two boys playing for him. So you look at it, I mean, you got his two daughters and his two boys, and they're constantly.
And he got the other boy, that Deion Sanders Jr. I think he handles his social media for him. He present too.
Okay.
And
I haven't seen him. I honestly haven't seen him.
He be behind the camera. I think everything that gets posted.
So there you go.
He be handling that.
But I mean, let's just call it what it is. What black man is supposed to have that kind of wealth when it comes to his own? He's young. None of these kids are giving him problems. None of these kids are out here in the space where you like, oh, look at this kid or that kid. They making an ass out themselves. Behind Deion being such a great player, whatever the case may be, you don't see none of that. All these kids are mannerable, respectful. They might jank daddy, they might jank Deion every now and then or whatever. But
we gonna get that. Your God dog do that to me all the
time. But I mean, for what it's worth, you see cohesion within that family, and that's not what they want to see. They don't want to see cohesion amongst a black family. That's not the way it's supposed to go down, but it is. And so that I think is the extra piece, because at the time Muhammad was at his height, all of his kids were really, really young. But like now, in today's society, social media is such a big thing, and that's something that Deion leverages to his advantage. And so with that, and then his kids all being with him, he's representing that black father that's got his kids right there with him, no matter what the situation is with the women that he had them with, and everything is 100. At least on the appearance, at least what we see, what we get.
Yeah.
So Prime definitely, I don't think Prime is naive by no means. I think he understands that. Look, I'm swinging a stick here. There's a lot different than what they want me to swing. They just want me to. They'd have been good with me just doing the promos and Tally and Jackson State out there and getting a little more TV time, and that would have been good for the status quo. But when I go snatch a Travis Hunter, when I go snatch a Kevin Coleman, when I get more kids that are on the cusp of joining my university, he's knocking on doors. He ain't shying away. When you get that going on, now the adaptation for them has to occur. And when you can't adapt, a lot of them can't. A lot of these guys can adapt. They're scared to adapt. They're scared to change their ways and their mindsets and look at it and go, okay, look, this is the playing field now where I've got to compete against these guys. I ain't just saying Prime, but let's just say about 10 or 15 more coaches come along that do the exact same thing. So Prime just got to be ready for those kind of digs at the kids. That's the thing that I'm kind of more concerned with, is what are the shots they're going to take at the kids, because he's such a good father and all his kids are around him. And that's something that I think the black community, we that tally Prime, that rally around Prime, we need to, that's something you emulate. That's something you look at. I think that's the extra piece, because that's the thing that I think truly they really don't want. Them black men that got their kids right there with them, that are popular celebs and everything like that. Like imagine if LeBron became a big time collegiate coach, or
oh God,
you see what I'm saying? Like LeBron, or
oh Lord, that man could do that.
CP3,
they could do that.
Or these big names that could do that become these coaches that bring these kids from your Villanovas and your Kansases and all those.
Them boys know the game and just base card good on the recruiting trail. Just put them boys on FaceTime with them.
Hey, look, Penny got them on notice right now, and Penny has put
these kids don't even remember how cold that sky was.
Exactly.
They don't even remember how.
Exactly.
Oh my God, you're right.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That's the thing where, okay, it's kind of, this is the way I think of it. Well, we gave you the money, and that's okay, right? Because you made us a lot of money. But now your influence, you ain't supposed to use the influence. You just supposed to use the money. The money good.
Why OT? Because remember the 30 for 30 broke. 2/3 of them blowing it anyway.
Yep.
You're going to give it right back to us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we ain't tripping off that.
Yep. So that's the way I look at this thing. Truthfully, I look at it as you leveraging your power. They don't want you to leverage your power and your influence the way that you can. They know it's there. Trust me, they know it's there. They know you've got the influence. It's just like in the Malcolm X film, where all he did was this.
Cool.
And they said it was too much power for one black man to have. Too much. It's the same thing. So that's the thing that I think going forward is what I think they need to be real cautious of, is just You know, the things you supply to people on social media that are positive, your kids, them being around you, the relationships, that encourages a whole slew of black fathers. And look, we out here, like you said, in other stuff on you on the threads and on the pages and everything. We out here. We raising our kids. We out here. We are fathers present. So that's where I take it. That's what I look at, man. When you were talking about it, and I was in the background, I'm sitting there thinking about, man, but he's a father though. That's an attack piece. That's something that they wanna, you know, make little jabs at and find some kind of little thread that they could pull to say Prime ain't really, you know, it's just whatever. You know, that's the thing that I kind of look at, that they don't really want to see take flight. So
and you're right to point that out, because that's when it's tough. It puts more pressure on those kids. And I've thought about this as well. I was talking to my daughter about that. I said, well, Daddy, I said, anything Daddy does was going to be in the public. If I stay in the classroom, I'm in the public. And you being a teacher, folks paying attention. Go in Walmart, folks would literally be looking in my buggy to see what I'm buying, just because I'm teaching their kids. You go in the liquor store, it's like a, oh my God moment that you getting told you can be out with your friends and stuff, and they say, well, don't post on social media showing you having a good time. Well, I'm grown.
Yep.
But you in the public. If I'm a coach, if I would have stayed a coach, so that's in the public. And the scrutiny comes with that. If I would have became an administrator, which I had an opportunity to do, superintendent, any of these things, I would have been the public. Politician.
Yep.
So I was talking to her about that, because I was like, baby, if I did any of those routes, you gonna catch it.
Yeah.
Because you my baby.
Yep.
So I might as well try to get rich if you had to deal with that anyway. Right. You feel me? So with their pops being who he is and really challenging a system that has been in place now since, what would you say, late 70s, early 80s, when things really started to get integrated. Like, I know folks, they were with Arch Manning signing to Texas, people telling me about how Archie would cut up the Ole Miss, but I've seen the clips, but it was segregated. Like,
I say the 70s. I say
so 70s.
Yeah.
So this is a system that's been basically entrenched for about 50 years or so. 40, 50 years of, okay, this is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted to come to our school. Okay, we're gonna snatch up your best athletes.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and get those.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But to post George Floyd, can't leave out. It ain't just Prime being in no SWAC, being at a HBCU. These young black people felt some type of way of seeing a black man get lynched like that.
Yeah.
They felt some type of way about that, and it made them start looking differently at stuff. So having that system shaking and having your pops be one of the faces of it, that does put a lot of pressure. Because what if one of them get pulled over?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What if one of them get pulled over, and you know with how that can go? And they just kids. Well, I'm talking about the current players.
Yeah.
Shadua, Shiloh, and the baby girl that's coming through finna play ball for Coach Reed.
Yeah.
You know, anything can happen. Or we can extend that into, because Coach Prime calls, as a good coach should, calls those other players his kids too.
Yep.
And so, like, what I'm saying is, I don't think they finna hit, like the IRS finna hit him or something, or do anything to him the level of how they came at Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I don't think that. But poking and prodding into Jackson State's affairs,
anything.
Looking for academic scandal, looking for, like I said, with catching somebody in a DUI. All them boys on that team got to stay disciplined.
That's right.
Not only on the field. I know Coach Prime talks about want you tough, fast, all that kind of discipline, but off that field, they got to be disciplined because them
And
folks
smart.
and smart
And,
and disciplined because they're gonna be waiting to pounce.
and smart.
And this is what I hope to. I hope some of these hating ass motherfuckers who be blinded by a football rivalry don't sit up here and pray on no downfall like that. Like, let's say a random linebacker get a DUI after damn we blow somebody out and they go have a party and the kid get a DUI in Jackson. And it, brings bad publicity on the team, bad publicity upon Coach Prime. I would hate for somebody from another institution who take these rivalries too far.
Yeah.
And be like hyping that shit up, basically helping our enemies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To try to show, because if they can try to paint what Prime is doing as illegitimate, he can't handle his boys.
Yeah. Anything
he's
like
not doing things above board.
he's just loose with it. He's just loose with everything.
Loose with it. If they can paint him like that, God damn it, they can paint Hugh Jackson that way. They can paint Eddie George that way. They can paint Coach Maynard that way. They can paint Coach McNair that way.
First of all, we're gonna get above Coach Maynard.
That's your boy.
We good.
Streets want to know, is he off the block list for this year?
He off the block list. We talking.
Okay.
We talking right now, man.
Okay.
I expect good things from him this year.
Okay.
Expect good things from him. I do. I expect him to be in the mix this year.
Big statement. With no Glass, no Mr. Glass no more.
I know. He do have your y'all transfer though.
He got him.
Got him. Casey. Quincy Casey.
And it should be some energy there, but we had to look in that. We had to do a deep dive on that.
We'll get there.
We ain't locked in on that yet. But what I'm saying is, and I know rivalry is good. I'm not saying don't have rivalry, root for your team. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, book it. We going undefeated. I'm gonna talk my shit after every game that we win. But that's about football.
Yeah.
That's about football. I'm telling you, it's a bigger thing.
Yeah.
It's a bigger thing. Yeah. And that's what motherfuckers got to understand. Separate the two. When it comes to the football game, let's go at it. Let's talk our shit. Let's have our fun. When it comes to the overall arc of what the hell is going on right now.
Yeah.
If you're black, you better be thinking black.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't go ahead. Don't be everywhere. Don't be everywhere. And hopefully the city will do what they supposed to do by these kids, because a lot of these kids don't know that they in the wrong spot. Let's just be honest, man. Not every kid on Prime team just totally gets it.
But that's every team. You know,
it is every team.
Especially when you got a football team. Football team, especially college football. NFL, you got 53-man roster.
Yeah.
College football got way more guys.
80, 90 kids,
we talking about 18 to 22-year-old. Like, that's a lot of fucking moving parts, a lot of shit to be accountable for. Every team is Alabama have folks that do stuff.
Yeah.
But because it's Alabama, Saban.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Of course. So, but I'm just saying the level of protection that I bet kids get at PWIs, they need to establish it at the HBCUs, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna be that them situations that where not everybody just down with the fact these young men are Jackson State football players who do well and a beacon of light in the community, and et cetera, whatever you want to, however you want to put a place a statement on that, however you want to describe that. But I'm just looking at it because I'm thinking about back when we was in school and we would hear about stuff with the football team, and just these kids was out here and it was the wrong night to be in the club because it was the locals. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. So, it's a whole ecosystem. It's I ain't saying turn Jackson State into what the Cowboys was in the 90s. I ain't saying do that.
Well, no, that's
But I'm
no.
just saying, though, young men are gonna do young men things. Now you don't want them to do stuff that you don't expect. You don't want them to be out there like that, all the way crazy and wild and everything. You want these young men to be where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to do at all times. But I'm just thinking about not everybody that you ain't gonna ask 80 some kids to be like that all day, every day. It's just not gonna happen. So I'm just asking the city to rally around these kids, watch these kids, protect these kids. If they wrong, they wrong. Now I ain't saying excuse they wrong, but I'm just saying watch for them, keep them out of whatever it is they about to get into. Maybe even just push them, get them out of there, get them away from whatever drama about to go on, etc. It's just to me, it's just a little bit
as a community. It just takes
as
a
a
village.
community.
That's what you're
It's
saying.
a community
The
thing. It's a
whole
community thing.
takes a village.
It's
You
a
know what I'm talking
community
about?
thing. That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
they do it. Florida States, the Oklahomas, the et ceteras, these kids be in clubs, bars, whatever. And some of them don't get away from the mess and they get themselves caught up. Some of them, you ain't heard them stories, but I'm sure if you dive deep into social media, they like, well, so and so that played for so and so was about to get into this or did do this or whatever, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
but and we gonna have to
but I'm
wrap.
saying protect our own. That's what I'm saying.
We
That's
gonna have
really
to
what I'm
we
getting
gonna have
at.
to wrap
Protect
our
our own.
arms around them, and we're gonna
Protect our
have to
own.
give them this game.
Protect our own.
They gonna have to think deeper. They can't just do like Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield got some trouble. Remember?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he should.
They just can't do like
Nope.
Aaron Hernandez down when he was
Nope.
down there in Florida. We know that stuff ain't just pop up
Nope.
out of nowhere.
I mean,
What
the Joe
happened to
Mixon
him?
situation. The Joe Mixon situation could have been the end of his career. It could have.
And we've heard stuff right here in the state of Mississippi at the Ole Miss Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Southern Miss.
Yeah.
We've heard stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we only wanted to get to that where you do something and then these folk cover up for you because you play for them.
No,
we
that
talking
ain't
about
what I'm saying.
we talking about one kid got to think, damn, we got a spotlight. Damn, we got a celebrity coach.
Yep.
We got average 40-some thousand people coming to our game.
Yep.
Damn, we on cover Sports Illustrated.
You're on TV.
We like the face of a black renaissance or something right now. Like it's the 1920s all over again. Like shit. We got a bigger spot. Yeah, you got the documentary.
Yeah.
You got a documentary.
Yeah.
You're working on season 3 right now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we got a spotlight on our backs, and we representing the whole culture.
Yeah.
So we have to be smarter. But two, the ecosystem around the OGs, the mamas, the grandmamas, the uncles, the barbers, you know what I'm talking about? Like all the, even the street cats, shit.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
even
yeah,
the street cat. Hey, cuz, hey man, nah, you play ball, man. What the fuck you doing over here, cuz?
Yeah.
Get on
Yeah,
down.
Get on down. Get on
You know
down,
what I'm
man.
saying? Because our enemies are gonna look for any damn thing. You
Mhm.
watch it. Because we've seen this movie before.
Yep.
When a black man of prominence shows that he's been progressive.
Yep.
We've seen this.
Yep.
And Muhammad Ali was the greatest example of that.
Yep.
Another example with Jack Johnson, what they did with him. They couldn't do shit with him.
Yep.
Couldn't jam him up on some bullshit charges.
Yep.
We've seen this movie before. So that's what I thought about when I saw the picture. You know what I'm saying? It is just came to mind instantaneously because I had been thinking about this anyway since we got the Sports Illustrated cover. I was like, some folks ain't gonna like this.
Well,
but fuck
them. Can I just throw one little side in?
What's that?
Nobody check Sports Illustrated anyway. let me just go on and say that like
magazines
I need
and
to say
died.
it.
Yeah,
Magazines
magazines and
died.
died. Yeah.
So, but
you should steal some motherfuckers that they ain't gonna like that. I went looking for that motherfucker. I ain't see it. I went in Walmart.
I just looked at. I read the article digitally. I got the little Apple
I
News.
collect magazines, so I was looking for it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a double back. If I don't see it, then I know it's some funny business going on. Goddamn it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was just thinking about print, man. That's a big thing. That would be good to have. I got thinking about that Steve McNair article. That Steve McNair Sports Illustrated when he was
You
on.
got that one?
I do, and it's a little bit torn up. Blame me, because I was young, I was stupid. But my cousin had got it for me when Steve was on the front cover chasing for the Heisman. I still got it. It's somewhere around here. I don't know where it's at, but I still got it. And that was just what I thought about. That's what I thought about.
You got some big time shit over there on your teeth.
But it ain't pristine though. Like I should have kept it, man.
Go ahead and
kept it pristine.
Get that motherfucker refurbished around this.
Tape that
I don't even know if they can.
Yeah, I don't even know we could do that. I don't know if I can get like the front cover and the back cover and put it and staple it in. I don't know if I can do that now, man. Yeah.
But shout out to Coach Simmons again. Coach.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yep.
That's what I got for you.
No doubt.
Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit Statement Tees, LLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.